Have you ever seen a half-inch caliber air rifle group cans at more than 30 yards after a single tweak? What you are about to see will surprise you. Stay with me, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly what makes the Bentac T50 Extreme shoot so true, and why one tiny, almost overlooked issue nearly ruined the whole package. The Bentac T50 Extreme arrived as a bold promise. A semi-automatic, big-bore air rifle in .50 caliber, designed to be a master blaster for big-bore fans. Bought with reviewer money for total impartiality, the rifle blends serious potential with an aggravating Achilles heel. Over the next sections, we will walk the entire story. What the rifle is on paper, what the rifle was out of the box, what broke almost immediately, how it performs on the range when it works, and the exact steps you must take right now to use it safely while you wait for a proper fix. Start with the headline features. The T50 brings a triple air tank architecture, that is, 3 on-board air reservoirs, giving it exceptional shot autonomy for a semi-automatic of its class. Think of those tanks as 3 fuel cells. The more tanks, the longer you can keep the engine running before refueling. On paper, the rifle promises 36 shots per full fill, which translates to emptying roughly 6 magazines before a refill is needed. A future option promises a rear tank capable of 7,000 pounds per square inch, a serious bump in onboard pressure for hardcore users. Price-wise, the rifle sits in the premium bracket at approximately $1,600. If you are used to single-tank designs, the triple tank is like switching from a small commuter car to a long-range SUV. You stop less often, you keep your rhythm, and for semi-auto shooting, that rhythm is everything. But specs do not fire bolts, real life does. And right out of the box, real life told a different tale. First rule with any high-end air rifle: inspect and clean before you shoot. The reviewer found the bore contaminated with manufacturing residue, a mix of preservative gunk and surface rust. That is not a minor detail. A dirty bore is like a dirty lens. It scrambles every shot. The reviewer used a patchworm for the initial pass and recommends following up with a nylon brush for a full decontamination. Trust me, that first cleaning is worth the time. Here is where it gets painful. On the reviewer's first attempt to load the rifle, both supplied magazines failed catastrophically. They broke before a single shot was fired. That is the single most damaging experience you can have with a semi-automatic platform. Magazines that cannot survive normal handling. The effect? The reviewer was forced to limp through the review, loading only 4 or 5 pellets at a time by hand into the feed mechanism. The magazine uses a spring-assisted rotating feed, a mechanism that should click reliably every time. Mechanically, the design is sound. The reviewer heard and felt the snapper spring operate beautifully, but the materials and molding appear fragile. In plain English, the engineering concept is good, the execution is brittle. This is not just inconvenient. It kills the rifle's usability as a true semi-automatic. But what happens to a rifle with brilliant internals if the little things break? Stay with me, because what you are about to learn next, including a practical loading method to avoid breakage, is crucial if you own one of these. Now the surprising part. Once the rifle was coaxed into shooting, it revealed a design that is, at its core, very fun to shoot. Handling is smooth for a .50 platform. The semi-auto cycling is clean and reliable when the magazine cooperates. With the right ammunition, specifically the Texoma precision pellets, 495 210 grain slugs in the reviewer's case, the rifle was able to place shots on cans at more than 30 yards with an impressive degree of consistency. Power readings landed at roughly 280 foot-pounds of energy on the chronograph. Some will say that is light for a big bore. Others will point to the real-world effect, the concrete block test, and argue that the T50 still hits hard. Which side do you favor? Think about it, because it matters when you pick ammo and set up your shots. Let's get technical for a moment, but in plain language. The magazine assembly on the Bentac T50 Extreme combines a rotating carrier, a torsion-type snapper spring, and molded feed columns. Mechanically, this is the right idea for reliable semi-auto feeding. The failure mode appears to be material fatigue at the feed lip and stress concentrators around the molded hinge points. In simpler terms, the part that holds and rotates the pellets is being asked to flex and lock repeatedly, and the plastic used is cracking where it bends. This is not a purely design problem, nor purely a materials problem. It is a combination. The geometry of the mold creates thin sections that concentrate stress, and the resin chosen lacks enough ductility to survive repeated cycles under load. The result is brittle breakage during normal loading. If you imagine bending a paperclip at the same spot again and again, you get the idea. It snaps. That is what happened here. Why does this matter to you? Because a semi-auto is only as fast as its magazines. If the magazines fail, your fire rate, your follow-up accuracy, and your entire shooting rhythm collapse. And rhythm is everything in semi-auto shooting. This next sequence is crucial because it will let you use the rifle without destroying the magazines while you wait for a proper fix. Read this and follow it exactly. I will say the steps slowly so you can record or copy them. This step is crucial because without it, you risk more broken magazines. Step 1. Rotate the magazine wheel all the way to the stop so the feed column is fully open. Step 2. Place a single pellet into the first slot and seat it just enough to hold the wheel in position. This single pellet acts as a pin to stabilize the spring. Step 3. One by one, add the remaining pellets into the slots, keeping gentle pressure on the wheel to avoid overstressing the feed lips. Do not force the wheel past its natural stop. Step 4. When the magazine is full, rotate the wheel back slowly until it clicks into the ready position. If you feel resistance or the plastic creaks, stop and adjust. Do not force it. Step 5. Load the magazine into the rifle, cycle the action to confirm feeding, and shoot conservative strings until you have a replacement mag from the manufacturer or a reinforced aftermarket option. This method reduces the localized stress that causes the cracks. It is not a permanent fix. It is a survival technique to get you to the range without consuming all your magazines. And yes, it slows you down, but it keeps your gear intact. Lo que vas a ver a continuación te sorprenderá. The rifle's accuracy and handling, despite all this, will make you forgive a lot, but not everything. Keep watching. So should you buy one? It depends on how you intend to use it and where you buy it. If you want to own a unit today, follow these recommendations exactly. First, buy from an authorized distributor who can perform warranty repairs. The reviewer recommends Fox Air Power for Bentac support. If stock shows as not available, contact them directly by email because dealers sometimes hold inventory not listed online. Second, insist on a full inspection on receipt. Clean the bore before the first shot and test the magazines offline. Third, document everything. Photographs of packaging, serial numbers, and the broken parts in case you need warranty service. If a magazine fails, contact the dealer and the manufacturer immediately and request replacement magazines under warranty. The reviewer reported prompt customer service and an immediate offer to ship replacements. Keep calm, be precise in your communications, and if the supplier is unhelpful, escalate with copies of your photos and purchase receipt. This is how you force accountability. For long-term reliability, do these things every time you use the rifle. Clean the bore before the first use and periodically after heavy shooting. Inspect and lightly lube the magazine spring with a dry film lubricant that will not attract grit. Protect the muzzle threads with a proper tool when removing the muzzle device to avoid damage. And never use moderators unless the manual explicitly permits it. The manual discourages moderators for a reason. These small habits preserve accuracy and lifespan. The Bentac T50 Extreme is a rifle of contradictions. On the positive side, it offers a compelling design, long shot autonomy thanks to its 3-tank architecture, smooth semi-auto cycling, and genuine accuracy with the right pellet. On the negative side, the fragility of the magazines and the imperfect out-of-the-box prep, specifically bore residue and surface rust, undermine its premium positioning. If you are a tinkerer who values performance and are willing to work around early production issues and buy from an authorized dealer who will stand behind the product, the T50 is a worthy, fun machine. If you demand rock-solid reliability straight from the box and want flawless magazines on day one, you will likely be frustrated. To summarize, the Bentac T50 Extreme can be one of the most entertaining and surprisingly accurate big-bore air rifles you can own. But right now, it carries a critical caveat: its magazines. Clean the bore first, load the magazines carefully using the method we covered, and buy from a dealer who can support repairs. If the manufacturer fixes the magazine durability, this rifle moves from promising to exceptional. If you found this walkthrough useful, comment below with your experience or questions. Subscribe for deeper big bore breakdowns, and check out our next video where we test reinforced magazine solutions and do a head-to-head accuracy comparison. See you at the range.